Hello, and thank you for joining me for the 2016 State of the City. This year, it's about the Gallatin experience because it's a very good one, but one that we're striving to improve. Whether we're in business, an elected official, or a concerned citizen, we care about the experience our city provides. Having grown up here, the experience is much different today, mainly in terms of opportunity, which is a good thing. But what makes Gallatin special is unchanged. Our beautiful landscape remains, our lakefront and beautiful parks have only improved over the years, our downtown is exciting again, our history's interesting, and most importantly, I think, our community spirit is stronger than ever. These are the things that make Gallatin the place that others want to be. In 2016, we have a brighter horizon than ever before. It's been a good year on most every front. The story of Gallatin is getting told in many ways. The nation is learning about us through the book More Than Rivals, which is now a New York Times bestseller. This saga of our community in 1970, brought together by a basketball game, is a beautiful story and one we hope will be a movie soon. And people are talking about us. Inquiries are constant, business is investing, new residents are moving here, and the number of visitors continues to increase. All positive factors for our city. Unfortunately, this year in our country has been difficult. Racial divide and community unrest was rampant across the United States. But here in Gallatin, things played out in a much different way. While protests raged across the nation, we in Gallatin experienced groups interested in praying for peace and unity. Our citizens were side by side with police and firefighters.
Well, it is. It's personal, as it is with the mayor and the other folks that, again, we all grew up and went to school here, and it's so exciting to see the town growing. And I say town, but, the city growing, and to see, a different, I don't know, not a swagger, but a different mindset that, everybody's excited about it. We're going, the right direction, in my opinion. And again, and therein lies our situation where we have to provide the best we can to the community, because I tell our officers it's about customer service, and we owe them the very best, and treat the people of this great town the way you'd want your family treated.
The Gallatin Police Department's relationship with our community is not by chance. In 2016 alone, our police department participated in more than 100 community events, and our citizens love our officers. Encouraging words, cards, meals, and other special thank yous came into our police department in the midst of the strife throughout the rest of the country. Again, just one of those things that makes the Gallatin experience a good one. So as we talk about the Gallatin experience, we know it's one of broad appeal. Different people like different things about our city.
My favorite part of Gallatin is the square, but we also make trips over here a lot for the children's clinic. So it's convenient, it's nice, it's clean and friendly. Those are our favorite parts.
It's a good place to raise a family. So a nice small town, not too big shot or anything like that. Everything is just great. People are great, just different stuff like that.
I love the community sense, the little downtown shops, and now I'm working down here, so I love it.
Well, we've lived here a long time, and I love Lime Deli, and my husband's business is right off the square, so we're real happy here.
What I like about Gallatin is that everything is close together. If I need something, I don't have to go very far, and then I can also explore new places because it's growing, so I can just always check out new things.
To refine exactly what matters most in our city, the Gallatin Economic Development Agency began a project this year that began by surveying residents, stakeholders, visitors, and regional residents. The results were enlightening and pretty good. It told us that many people in neighboring communities don't really know much about us at all. Our own residents told us they want better retail, a vibrant downtown, and waterfront improvements. They stressed, however, that we must balance progress with the retention of Gallatin's character. Ultimately, this research will result in a new way to tell our story in an authentic way to those who may not know us. We want it to reflect what our locals love and what will entice visitors. We'll actually develop something the city's never had, a logo. Now, we're not going to do away with the city seal, but we'll have another way to showcase Gallatin. We're not quite ready for that launch, but the research is resulting in some other actions that you'll appreciate. We've started a Downtown Vibrancy Committee. We're gathering and using data to continue the trajectory of our historic downtown in a positive direction. Among the work of this committee is an effort to have weekly events in 2017 versus the current third Thursday. We've also formed a beautification committee. Since the demise of Keep Gallatin Beautiful, no one's really focused on litter prevention and community aesthetics. Our residents told us we have to do a better job of keeping our city squeaky clean. This committee is working on numerous strategies to clean up and encourage others to make our community more beautiful. And because we've received overwhelming feedback about new retail and restaurants, we're making that happen. In the past year, we've celebrated many grand openings, from the new Miracle Ford to the Carpenter Cancer Center to the beautiful Worthington Galleries. Gallatin continues to add new business. Soon, Sumner Regional will add their new emergency department. The Humanities Building at Volunteer State will officially open, and several other businesses will come online. To maximize the opportunities before us, we've partnered with a highly respected broker to help sell our city. I can't give you a lot of details, of course, but I can tell you this. Several projects are working. Right now, 40 acres are under contract for retail development. You know some of what's coming. You've seen the signs, but soon you'll see even more. How would you like to see this in our Gallatin? And how about this? Which, by the way, is a water cable park in case you've not seen one before. Additionally, the city's working on a new website that will focus on the user experience and have an app for your mobile devices. The headline of Gallatin's story in the last year is certainly growth, but what does that mean for our experience? Well, through the work of the City Council, our Economic Development Agency, the Gallatin Chamber, Greater Gallatin, and numerous private partners, the Gallatin experience translates into capital investment and new hires, making the quality of life better and more sustainable.
We're really fortunate that we've had good leadership with the city. The city has invested in itself, made wise decisions over the years, and those investments then have been a large part of what's created this rush over the last 2, 3, 4 years for all the companies that are expanding here, that exist here, and also companies that are moving into the area. In addition, we're seeing the smaller communities, the smaller companies, rather, that are starting to expand. If you look at our sales tax growth over the years, it's just up every single year, and that has mostly been with same-store sales. We haven't had a lot of new retail move into the area. So all of those things put together all of a sudden has caught the attention and ideas of an investment from the outside. We've had money coming from around the United States looking to invest in here, and we have retail that's getting ready to explode. We have a lot of things that are getting ready to go that are a reaction to the demand that's been created over these last 3 or 4 years' growth.
Big business in Sumner County. Today, the ribbon-cutting ceremony was held to welcome Beretta to Gallatin.
It was big news this year when Beretta opened their 160,000 square foot, $45 million firearms plant in our industrial center. They're bringing 300 new jobs and loads of positive attention to Gallatin from around the world. But that's not all. ABC Group Technologies completed a 186,000 square foot expansion. The Gap is investing $3.1 million in their operation, and in less than 12 months have expanded from 600 employees to nearly 1,300, making it Sumner County's third largest employer. Bradford Company recently purchased a new facility on Commerce Way and expanded their operations. A&C Enterprise expanded too, leasing 36,000 square feet on Airport Road. And Welch College is getting closer to opening their more than $20 million campus north of Station Camp High School. We look forward to welcoming this highly respected institution, its faculty, and its students in 2017. And this is brand new news. Western Reflections is doubling the size of its facility in the Gallatin Industrial Center and increasing its employment. This company, originally Western Reserve, was one of Gallatin's major employers through the 80s and 90s and continues to be a valuable partner. Additionally, there are approximately 20 other projects in the pipeline. This past year's been huge, but the future's even better. We're keeping the momentum and expect more well-paying jobs, retail development, and capital investment. Another great indicator is the record number of building permits issued in our city, 550 in the last year. Our building department is working hard to make sure we can do our best for the contractors who make our growth happen.
What we're doing here is that we're becoming a one-stop shop permitting department and inspection department, that everything can be done through the City of Gallatin's building permitting department. We handle your permit needs. We do all your plan reviews for you. We do all of your inspections. Electrical being the latest one we're adding in, and we will be into that electrical inspection this fall. Time is money in the construction industry. More timely inspections keeps these projects moving. The contractor doesn't need to come to City Hall. He can do it all from his office. He can request his inspection. He can print his reports. He can get his occupancy certificates. He gets everything from his desk, and it saves him the time of coming to City Hall for anything.
Chuck Stewart does remind us constantly that time is money, and this city is absolutely committed to keeping our investors on schedule, even with all that's coming. We're really excited that some of the coming development will be new lodging options in Gallatin. Baker's Crossing will contain 2 hotels, one of which is a beautiful Hilton Garden. This plan also includes a conference center, retail space, and a restaurant. On the multifamily front, there are a lot of apartments, as demanded by both the millennial generation and our retirees. Major projects reviewed and approved include Hidden Creek, Sumner Gardens, and Paytona Downs. This is a total of more than 1,000 new units, but there are more wanting to build here. Townhome and condominium projects also continue to be developed. For single-family homes, a total of 27 residential subdivision plats comprising 422 new lots are now in the construction phase. That's a lot of building and a lot of preparation on the part of our city departments. Of course, very important to all of us are our utilities. Our water, sewer, and gas provider, Gallatin Public Utilities, is always working to maintain and expand water lines, sanitary sewers, pump stations, even fire hydrants. Very exciting news this year related to our water is the upgrade at the water treatment plant. Now, rather than treat our water with chlorine gas, which required storage of hazardous chemicals in large cylinders, we began generating our own liquid chlorine via electrolysis. This process is safe, it's harmless if it's spilled, and has no dangerous vapors. The Gallatin Department of Electricity is also very busy. In just the last year, the department added 551 new customers, representing a growth of 3.2% in just 1 year. Much is in the works to prepare for future growth and increase resiliency.
Well, this next year, we've already been working on it. The first thing I would mention would be the LED lighting that we're putting up in town. We're replacing all the old high-pressure sodium lights with new, whiter LED lights. And it benefits the city with less electricity, and it benefits Gallatin Department of Electricity with less maintenance. And that's real exciting for both of us. The other thing, number 2, would be what we're working on as far as we're putting up a fiber ring around town, and that allows us to do several things as far as communications goes. But for the city, one of the big benefits would be that we would have more automated meter reading, which on top of that would allow us to have the ability to know when a customer is out by loss of voltage.
You'll like this. The Gallatin Department of Electricity operates on 9 cents out of every dollar paid by customers. The rest goes straight to TVA. And the department just completed its 30th straight year without outstanding debt. All operations and capital needs were funded by cash generated from daily operations. But fiscal responsibility, it's a theme throughout our city. We all are committed to being good stewards for our residents, which takes us to the 2016-17 budget. This is strong evidence of that. Now, it's big, it's the largest one ever, and it's bold, but it's going to get us where we need to go. The 2017 budget is $33,738,000. But for the 11th year in a row, there's no tax increase. In addition to investing in capital, infrastructure, and our existing employees, we're adding 20 new employees. All of this to meet the needs of our growing city. Our rainy day fund is at $6,220,000. This is actually an increase of $800,000. Our unassigned reserve stands at $7,600,000. Now, these are numbers you'll be interested in. Our 2017 property tax, $10,070,000. Our 2017 sales tax, $10,500,000. This is significant because soon our sales tax numbers will top our property tax revenue. This is a tremendous milestone that will help us ensure that we can maintain our property tax rate. Additionally, this year we did issue a $12.1 million bond. We received an outstanding interest rate and more than $1 million in premium. With that, we'll fund the Albert Gallatin construction, improvements to South Water, our new fire hall, airport road improvements, a drainage project on Anthony Street, and we'll be able to address a few other pressing issues. For our city's long-term financial stability, it's a very good story. Not only are our existing revenues steadily increasing, but I'm very proud that we continue to grow our revenue in new ways. One very important accomplishment of the past year is the special census. Because we demonstrated an increase in residents of more than 4,000, we'll now receive an additional $516,000 in state shared revenue each year. This project cost our city $55,000, but we will realize a 4,691% return on the investment over the next 5 years. A huge thank you to Rosemary Bates for leading that project, the many other employees who worked with her, and Councilman Ed Mayberry, who was our best, most faithful, and only census volunteer. Additionally, our inspection processes and fees have been updated this year to better protect our builders and our residents and adequately fund the services that the city provides. We've also applied for a congestion mitigation and air quality improvement grant. If successful, we could replace a very large percentage of our vehicle fleet with more fuel-efficient vehicles at 20% of the actual cost, saving us millions. And it's not income, but equally important because we're protecting our assets. We're investing a lot in infrastructure. You've seen many of our best improvements as you travel through our city. Our engineering and public works departments are diligent, and they do a stellar job of maintaining and improving our rapidly growing and changing city.
I think that the things that people would notice the most around town would be the over $700,000 that we've spent in repaving across the city, various streets. But probably one that sticks out the most was where we were able to partner with CSX, TDOT, to replace the railroad crossings. I think that's made probably over 15,000 people a day happy. The biggest project that's on the horizon that we hope to get bid out later this year, maybe at the beginning of next year, would be the Albert Gallatin Avenue extension, which would bring Albert Gallatin Avenue across a nice vacant field over to State Route 109. And the hope there is that we'll see thousands of cars diverted from our downtown area, Highway 31E and Red River Road, on an outward loop there as they travel from the northeast side of town. Cut it! Extending the Greenway, finishing that last section of the Greenway that stretches all the way from Triple Creek Park into our downtown area.
In addition to what Mr. Tuttle mentioned, we've ramped up paving this year with improvements planned for Grandview, Maple Street, Lock 4 Road, St. Blaise, Cambridge Farms, and Anthony Street, to name just a few. We also continue to pursue opportunities to add more sidewalks throughout the city. Other important improvements are ones that you don't see, but they're an important part of keeping our house in order and operating more effectively and efficiently. Our information technology department has completely redesigned our network and replaced our outdated equipment. We've adopted best practices in safeguarding information, and we're implementing GIS mapping, which will help our departments and serve citizens. Imagine searching your address and finding your tax information along with details about all of your city and county services. In public safety, we're aggressively moving forward to align with our population and development growth.
And so, as we know that Gallatin is growing, we have a lot of construction going on. We're trying to get our infrastructure in place to meet that demand. Hence, Station 5 is being built. We've increased our personnel this year per request through the city. We hired 16, which is 10 additional new positions plus the 6 vacancies that we had. And now we know within the next 16 to 18 months, once Station 5 comes online, we're also going to be hiring to fill that station. Likewise, we have been working on trying to increase our training to get our individuals trained and cross-trained in so many different areas, because even though our fire call volume is only 3% of what we do, we have such a large group of other hazards that we address as the fire department.
Some really good news from the fire department is that our commitment to our fire prevention division is paying off. In the last year, 1,940 inspections and 108 fire plan reviews were executed. Combined with all of the education the fire department does, fires are being prevented. Only 28 building fires occurred in our city last year. But as mentioned by Chief Williams, we must still meet the demands of our medical and emergency calls, which continue to increase in number. At the police department, both the new annex and an additional precinct have opened their doors in the past year. In an effort to improve all city and county emergency services, all of our dispatch will soon migrate to the Consolidated Dispatch Center currently under construction. We believe this will increase efficiency, decrease errors, and save money. Of course, there are many issues that the city deals with, and this year's been no exception. The most complaints we receive are traffic related. Congestion, speeding, ease of access to roads, even compression brakes. I want you to know that each concern is forwarded to engineering and the police department, and it's addressed by each through traffic studies, enforcement, and traffic calming measures where appropriate. I think you'll be glad to know that among the upcoming improvements is a large signalization project that will improve the timing and synchronization of traffic signals throughout Gallatin. And since traffic safety is a big part of managing our traffic, you can take pride in our Gallatin Police Department's work. The GPD has been recognized by the Governor's Highway Safety Administration with numerous awards, including the Grand Championship for our state. Just recently, the department was awarded a new vehicle and other equipment by the administration for their accomplishments. Another of the biggest issues we've faced in recent months is that of flooding. There is a lot of work to be done, and we're taking steps to mitigate that risk to our city. In the coming year, we'll add a stormwater coordinator to our engineering team. Additionally, we're partnering with the Army Corps of Engineers for a citywide flood reduction plan. So, while we can blame Mother Nature for much of what we've experienced, we'll continue to work on improvements to lessen the impact of water to Gallatin. You'll see Public Works clearing culverts and streams of debris, and engineering will continue to study and make modifications to help move water effectively until a comprehensive plan is developed. Also in the budget and plan for the coming year is a long-range plan for our city. This plan, to be spearheaded by our planning department, is to include much guidance for our city for the next 2 decades. We intend to include a strategic plan, a capital investment plan, and a land use plan. We've all heard you have to know where you're going to get there, so we're going to lay it out for everyone. Much of what makes our city so desirable is our amazing park system. There are improvements underway almost daily, so that most people don't really notice how much gets done on a regular basis. So here's an abbreviated list of highlights. Our award-winning Civic Center and parks continue to grow, offering more activities and becoming even more beautiful. The fairways at Long Hollow Golf Course have been resprigged, and memberships there are up 10%. There's a new playground at Lock 4 Park. The basketball courts at Clearview Park are revitalized and beautiful. The tennis courts at Municipal Park have been repaired. Shoreline improvements in cooperation with the Corps of Engineers continue. And next spring, the Tommy Garrett Aquatics facility will open its doors with a fabulous new outdoor pool. Gallatin is an important city, not just to those of us who live here, but to our entire Middle Tennessee region. We are a job hub, a great place to visit, and we're helping bolster the economy of the cities around us. As a result, there are a lot of people watching us. To capitalize on this attention and the development it's driving, we must always be focused on maintaining our quality of life. If we maintain that, and I'm confident that we will, we'll sustain this momentum. The survey that I mentioned earlier reported that our residents love living here, but here's the thing. The company that did our DNA research, a company that gathers information from all over the nation, said Gallatin residents love their city more than any other community they've ever studied. Pride is our mainstay, and we have it because we have an amazing city. We here today will perpetuate that for future generations, just like those before us did. I often say that we owe our life here to the hearts and minds and sacrifices of those who had a grand vision for Gallatin. Now we carry that forward. The legacy of Gallatin is unparalleled, and I believe we have an amazing future. So the question becomes, what now? How do we add to the Gallatin experience? There's much we each can do. We can tell our story. It's good, it's authentic, and it's powerful. We can build partnerships. We're stronger and smarter when we do. Listen to our residents and visitors so that we can make smart choices for them. Plan for our future, just as those before us did. And always remember our rich history. In honoring our past, we'll build an even better tomorrow. The Gallatin experience is an amazing one. Our limitations are few, our potential's great, our possibilities are endless. And you know why? Because of the people in our community. You are Gallatin's most valuable assets. You set examples for others to follow. You own, operate, promote, and patronize our local businesses. You advocate for our city. You volunteer, participate, and donate, often without recognition, and you tell the positive stories about our city to others. Many of my mentors, my friends, and my heroes are people in Gallatin. Some I've known my whole life, and some I've only known for a short time. I know there are some who don't even like me very much, but that's okay. I admire and respect anyone who cares for our city. I've learned so much from many of you. What matters is that we're all committed to making Gallatin better, and that our motivation is our love for our community and the people here. I do what I do in hopes that someday some child I'll never know will have a better opportunity, and that 20 or 30 years down the road, someone like me will be able to point to something with pride and say, my granddaddy built that. And so that 200 years from now, Gallatin will remain a special city where families still want to raise their children and build their businesses. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for caring for our city and for the difference you each make. Thank you for supporting our city's efforts. Thank you for your kindness to me, and thank you for letting me serve as your mayor. It is a tremendous honor, and I will always try to make you proud of the job that I do. Finally, thank you for your willingness to join the journey as we continue to build the best city in the best state in the best country on this earth. May God bless each of you today and all the days ahead.